Now let's talk about another form of filters. They're called metaprograms, okay? Metaprograms are unconscious programs that you have in your head. Let me get something out. Okay, there's. I actually got a book that I've learned this from a long time ago. God, that was 1992 it was a long time ago. So these are called metaprograms. This is another thing that I work with my clients, because when the clients walk in the door, they walk in the door with their own programs. Again, this is the matrix. I want you to listen to that word again. Metaprograms. What? Programs, like a program, like a computer program. You have been programmed by the TV and you didn't even know it. It tells you what to believe. It tells you what to think. It even shows you what to picture, what to see. It's not real, right? So I don't know if I want to go down this hole. Okay, let's just take any president of the United States or any leader, world leader, or any political party person. They show you short little clips of what someone did in 15 seconds or 5 seconds or 30 seconds or a minute, or they said this phrase or they said this sentence or two. You're not there at dinner time. You're not there 15 minutes before when they said something else that would have made the whole thing have a completely different meaning. You're only shown what they, your masters, want you to see. And until you're willing to be honest with yourself and say, I'm actually not in Washington, D.C. I don't walk around 24 hours with this world leader or that world leader. I'm just watching a 20-minute or 15-minute news video on what they say that this president or this leader says or is doing. You're not there. That's a lie if you think you truly know what's going on behind the scenes. But then again, that is part of the matrix to make you believe that you know what's going on, that you're an informed listener. No, you're not. You don't even know what a program is, a metaprogram. Watch this. So let's get into complex metaprograms. Because there's all kinds. I mean, I can go to the chapter before where they talk about simple metaprograms. I mean, there's so much stuff from introvert to extrovert. Introvert and extrovert means the internal versus the external. So that's the left brain, external, versus the right brain, the internal. See, this is stuff I've been teaching literally for 3 decades. All right, so I'm going to cruise through this really fast. So you have judgers, you have non-judgers, you've got feelers, you've got perceivers. Let's see, let's go to metaprograms. All right, let's do towards and away from. Now remember, with every metaprogram I give you, there's going to be a range. It's not like just there's black and white, this or that. That's it. There's no other possibilities. No. It's kind of like a stereo, like a volume can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 10 or 20. Or like when you tune in your stereo, like in the old, like especially back in the 80s and 90s when you could work on the amps and put the highs high and the lows low and the mids up or mids down, and then the other ones that are in between that, you can adjust them, right? So a towards person, the towards and away from metaprogram, a towards person will go towards what they want. An away from person, when they have that program, goes away from what they don't want. For example, some people, let's see. All right. So the people that become very successful when it comes to money, let's just use money, and they are very consistent with it, or in sports, or in whatever, they just seem to always win most of the time, or even if they lose once in a while, they get right back on top. They just seem to go up, or they seem to go forwards, right? Here's why. A towards person is motivated by the carrot. The carrot is always out in front, so they're always going this way. So a carrot could be $1 million. Well, that person, when they finally get to the $1 million, they're like, well, now what? And then they look forward again. Well, I want $2 million. Now I want 5. Now I want 10. So they keep building and growing and going forwards. An away from person. This is how an away from, well, okay, watch this. Hope you're still with me. An away from person goes away from pain. A towards person goes towards pleasure, right? So an away from person will do this. Let's say this is poverty and they grew up in a poor, or maybe they didn't, but poverty is like the worst, painful thing in the world to them. And so what happens is those people will work really hard to run away from poverty, right? The problem is the further you get away, the smaller and smaller that motivation becomes. It just fades away. And then once it fades away and you make $100,000 or $1 million or whatever it is, you kind of get lazy and kind of sleep in, and you don't work as hard, and you don't show up to the job, or you don't get stuff done you're supposed to. Then that person starts to get poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer until they get really close to the poverty. Like, oh my God. And then they run away. Those are the people that go up and they get rich, and then they get totally broke. And they work really hard for another 6 months, another year or two, and they get rich again, and they get totally broke. They go up and down because they're going from this away from. Now, here's the good news. You can change your metaprograms. You can shift them. So you might have someone that's totally towards and totally away, or you could have anywhere in between. Someone that's 50-50, they have away from motivation 50%, and they have towards motivation, or they have like 60% or 70% towards motivation with a 30% away from. There's a range in all these metaprograms. Let me give you another one. Let's talk about sameness versus difference. A sameness person will walk into a room and see everything that's the same. A difference person will see everything that's different. All right? Okay. Let's say they own a 2-story home that's worth $5 million. And they've got, and instead of flat square walls, it's rounded. Every room has a roundness to it. And the ceilings are like 14 feet high. Well, they walk into your apartment, let's say. The ceilings are about, I don't know, how high would that be? About 9 feet, something like that. Maybe even less, maybe even 8 feet. I'm not quite sure how that would be. So let's say your ceilings are 8 feet and your walls are flat and square. And the paint in there where they live it has like a beige tan color, and yours is pure white, right? They'll walk in and say, wow, this is exactly like my place. You've got walls, I've got walls. You've got windows, I've got, and everyone else is like, what are you talking about? It doesn't look anything like your place. It would be, say it's a 1-bedroom apartment and they've got like this big mansion. And you're like, what are you like? No, it's exactly the same like my place. And you're like, no, it's not. So a sameness person will see everything's the same. A difference person will walk in and see everything that's different. Oh, yeah, your ceilings are 14 feet high, mine are 8 feet high. Oh, my walls are flat, yours are freaking round. Oh, your walls are beige, mine are white. So they see everything that's different. Now, there's a benefit in all of this. Okay, let me give you one more. Matching and mismatching. So someone that's totally matching will match everything. Even if everything, well, I guess you can't say that. Okay, let's do this. Every now and then I'll get a client that's a mismatcher. I had one client that was a 100% mismatcher, and he came to me because he couldn't meet any women. Geez, I wonder why. He couldn't get along with anyone. By the way, these people are called narcissists. And during our NLP trainings, they told us if you come across a mismatcher, like it's one thing if they're like 10% mismatcher, that's fine, or 20%, okay, because they're basically 80% matcher. Mismatchers will mismatch everything you do, everything you say, everything you like, everything you don't like. They will mismatch the hell out of you, and they are a pain in the ass. Now, here's the other problem. They can't understand anything you're saying because it's like a filter, right? I had a client, well, I've actually had a couple, but this one guy in particular was like, he would argue and argue and argue and just everything. He was, oh, I don't believe you. Oh, I don't think that's true. So I'd go over and get a book from Dr. So-and-so, another book from the scientific studies at Stanford or Berkeley, and then another one and Dr. Luann Brizendine's The Female Brain book, and on and on and on. It's like, well, okay. But then he would mismatch the doctors, and you're just going, oh my God, dude, I'm trying to help you understand something. The great thing about my course, whether it's for men or women, you'll see it for yourself. You don't need a scientific study. You will see it and like, wow, that's because we'll actually go out in public and we'll do it out there and you're like, wow, that is true, huh? Like you see it. It becomes really obvious. But if you're stuck in your matrix brain, you can't see it. And that's something that Morpheus said to Neo. He said, sadly, we can't tell you how to see it. You have to see it for yourself. The good news is we can change your metaprograms if you have an extreme metaprogram that doesn't work for you.
The other thing is, a healthy person is someone who has flexible metaprograms, meaning just like when you tune in your stereo, your bass, your mids, your trebles, your highs, etc., you should be able to adjust them up and down, and most people are stuck on one way of using their metaprograms. Now, the metaprograms that you are using in general are ones that were literally programmed into you by your church, by your religion, by your government, by the TV, by cartoons, by Disneyland. All of these things, including movies, literally tell you what to think, how to think, and what metaprograms to have and to use. And this is why most people will fit into a group or a clique or a certain style of church or religion or whatever, is because they have similar or the same metaprograms that they have. Hey guys, remember, click the like button, click subscribe, and click that bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Go to mikecollin.com, MikeKollin.com.